Remnant 2, bringing in the right tool for the job is often the difference between life and death. This is Tragic from Gunfire Games. Introducing the Warden.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we finally got a reveal for the Warden coming in Remnant 2 with the September 24th update. Now, let's talk about how the Warden kind of works, and we got some tinfoil hat theories in there. Talking about his prime perk dynamic. After 10 seconds of not being damaged, the Warden generates a shield of 16% of their max health over 2 seconds, increases Nerudian energy for turrets and drones. So, the type of shield-based rings we already have in the game is the closed loop. This is one of them. Game's 5% of max health as a shield for 10 seconds after a charged shot. Accumulation resets after 10 seconds of inactivation. Then we have the access coil. Activating the skill grants a shield for 25% of the max health. Cannot stack with itself. Lasts for 15 seconds. Next, we have the generating band. Regenerate 3% of max health per second while a shield is active. May be key in most builds. Then we have the rerouting cable. Gain 5% of max health as shield after 5 seconds of spending 20 stamina. Accumulation resets after 5 seconds of inactivation. Max of 50% shields. Tightly wound coil. After spending 75% more of the current magazine, gain a shield 15% of max health for 5 seconds. Does not stack with itself. These are some interesting rings we have here for our shield builds coming with the Warden. Then we also have a run and gun type of playstyle for farming. Vacuum seal, increase ammo pickup range for scrap by 150%. Picking up scrap, iron, or ammo grants a shield for 15% of max health for 15 seconds. Does not stack. So an explorer type Warden deal could be okay. We do see the new weapon in action here, and it doesn't seem to be putting out too much damage. And then we get a scythe type weapon. But let's talk about the elephant in the room, and that is the little drone buddy. So what could it do? It has 3 modes. The drone shield. Deploy shield drone with 200 energy reserves to follow and protect its warded target. The warded target gains increased damage reduction by 10% when the warded target is not at max shield capacity. The drone consumes 25 energy to grant a shield for 11% of the target's max HP once every second. All shields the drone grants last until removed by damage or until the drone alters warded targets or is stowed. When idle, 5 seconds, the drone goes into dormant mode, gains 1% of its energy back. When it depletes its energy, the drone goes inactive, then gains 2% of its energy back. If you stow it manually, it will gain 4% of its energy back per second versus the mediocre amounts that we get there. Double tap to return it to your side and remain by your side, or single press it to put it on a target. And then we have the drone heal. I'm not going to repeat the last part of it, but we have the deploy heal drone with 200 energy reserves and protect this warded target. The warded target gains increased relic use speed by 10% when the warded target is not at max health. The drone consumes 10 energy to 10% health of the target's max HP once every second. So it's going to keep you in the fight and keep you in the fight longer. As far as those rootin' tootin' gunslingers go that want to get out there and use their guns and their pistols to put out maximum damage while having a little bit more survivability without using the handler, here you go. I don't know if that's going to be the best alternative to it, but we'll get into that tinfoil hat theory later. Next, let's talk about the last type of drone we got here, and that is the combat drone. The combat drone increases the fire rate and total melee speed by 10% and decreases firearm charge time by 10%. While in combat, the drone attacks the warded target's focused enemy, consuming 10 energy per barrage. Now, I am banking on that we're going to get some type of ring or some type of amulet that will have our drone consume no energy for it in order for it to stay out, consume less energy of that type, or replenish this energy when it gets like a kill or when you get a kill. Or maybe there are some type of perks that we have innately in the Warden's kit that will give us some drone energy back, because Gunfire Games never really gives us everything right out the box and tells us completely. But let's theorize just a little bit. Now, when it comes to this drone's energy, you can see that it's a meter right there. 200 energy is not that great, but let's look over some of the perks. Now, the perks here, we can assess that this is a battle perk that will grant us plus 35% damage. Now, we have another perk here that's probably upon activating a skill or getting a kill, we get some type of damage reduction or reserve energy. Then we have another one here that is utility, and then we have the last one that is a relic use. When we use a relic, that is probably going to restore that energy to the drone. That is my best guess, or to all Naruto type targets or drones, turrets or drones. And then we have the barrier skill trait for the Warden, and about level 7 is probably where most people are going to go. I don't see anybody getting that whole 15%. I mean, really? Do you need 15%? I mean, 10% along with all the other rings and the amulets we got going on here. Isn't 10% is okay. I can see people really sticking to that 7. Now, some things that we were introduced later onto Twitter, and we're going to see the glider, and then we get a slight preview of the prism system. Now, the prism system, as we can see here, you have feed the prism. So we have things that we can feed into the prism. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 empty slots that we can put onto the prism. We have the roll chances, and then we have some type of system there on the far right with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 like crystals that are just kind of active. So that could be the secret sauce that they're talking about with the prism system that they haven't let us know yet. We also have some weapon buffs coming along here with the new update, starting with the polygon. It is increased reload buff duration from 5 to 10 seconds, increased reload buff lock duration from 5 to 10 seconds, increased shotgun fire rate from 1.6 to 1.75, reduce the rifle and shotgun recoil, and reduce the shotgun spread pattern. These look like some awesome buffs. Next, we have the Corrupted Savior. The Corrupted Savior is looking at some minor tweaks, as it has a magazine size from 40 to 50, mod drain delay from 5 to 10 seconds, and mod drain rate slightly reduced. This is going to be great because we already have things that reduce that mod drain rate. So stacking those up in tandem is going to give us a better Corrupted Savior. If you haven't got it, you can only get it in the hardcore mode, beating the game on hardcore mode, and then taking the Savior and corrupting it through Dwell. Now the Alpha Omega. This is getting a substantial buff with increased RPS from 6.89 to 7.42, increased charge buff decay from 1.5 to 3.5 seconds, charge shots required to max speed from 3 to 5, default charge speed from max 0.25 to minimum 0.01, increased beta ray base damage from 225 to 275, now can be reloaded without losing the charges. These are going to be some great buffs to these weapons, and hopefully we see some more weapons get some love in the next update. And I'm thinking the plasma cutter is going to need some love in the distant future. Now we also have the Trinity crossbow. This is getting a minor damage increase from 44 to 48, magazine increase from 18 to 24, reserves increase from 90 to 96, increased reload speed slightly. Now the repair tool fires a stream of nanomachines dealing damage to enemies or healing allies for 3% of their max HP, while also firing at a turret or a drone. It will give it their nanomachine energy back, right? So it will recharge the drone or the turret so you can keep it up longer. I don't know if all that is really necessary, as that new little hand cannon doesn't seem to be putting out a lot of damage. It seems kind of niche. You're going to want to pull it out just to use it for repairs and then put it back and pull out your main weapon. Could go well with the plasma cutter, as I use hand cannons with plasma cutter all the time. Now, the scythe that we do see in action, you don't get the full range of the handle of it. It does still kind of work like a scythe, so I do wish they would have gave us that extended range with the scythe. More upcoming changes with the Remnant 2 update, and every day we're getting something new. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this type of content, and that you like, share, and subscribe these videos here on my channel. Again, I will leave the full Warden video at the end of the video, and I will see you in the next one.
Remnant 2, bringing in the right tool for the job is often the difference between life and death. This is Tragic from Gunfire Games. Introducing the Warden. When it comes to enhancing any playstyle, the Warden has you covered, literally. They're the master of shields, and their perks are designed around keeping survivors alive. Their prime perk, Dynamic, even allows them to automatically regenerate shield. But we're just getting started. Where the Warden truly shines is through the use of their secret weapon, the drone. Each Warden skill is a unique, fully automated drone that chaperones an ally and provides two functions. The primary function performs its selected routine at the cost of energy. If it runs out, it goes dormant until it's replenished itself. The secondary function is always active, even if the drone doesn't have any energy available. Choosing the right variant is key to a powerful Warden build. Their first option is the shielding drone. While energized, the drone will constantly grant shield to the selected ally until they're at 100%. Passively, it will reduce all incoming damage by a small amount. A great choice for defensive, support, or active shield builds. Their second option is the healing drone. When the drone has energy, it constantly heals an ally until their health is full. Passively, it grants a relic use speed buff. If the goal is to keep yourself or an ally topped off while boosting relic functionality, then the healing drone is perfect. Their third option is the combat drone. Designed to be a constant offensive presence, an energized combat drone attacks any threat near the selected ally. Passively, the combat drone provides a constant speed boost for both firearms and melee. When it's time to go all out, accept no substitute. Rounding out their kit is the Archetype trait, Barrier. It increases the effectiveness of shields the Warden applies, which means that even when applying protection to an ally, they will also gain a benefit. When making a shield build, Barrier is a must. Players looking for a versatile addition to any build will absolutely love the Warden. Whether you like offense, defense, or anything in between, the Warden's got you and your allies covered. The cavalry has arrived.